Now, next topic is our devotee's attitude in receiving a guest. How a person should receive a guest, even an enemy. Hmm. The law of reception in the course of Vedic injunction is that states that even if an enemy is received at home, he must be received with all respect. He should not be given a chance to understand that he has come into the house of an enemy. The reception law says that a poor man who has nothing to offer his guest should be good enough to offer a straw mat for sitting, a glass of water for drinking, and some sweet words. Therefore, to receive a guest, either a friend or an enemy, there is no expense. It is only a question of a good manner. As mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, 18 chapter 28 shloka. अलब्ध तृण भूमि आदि असंप्राप्त अर्ध्य सूनृतः अवज्ञातम इव आत्मानं मन्यमानः चुकोपः. Means if some guest comes, we should receive him with lots of respect. Offer him at least a mat made of grass. Give him some place to sit. Asam prapta, received him properly. Soon Rataha, with sweet words, give him, offer him some water. Avagyatam iv atmanam, do not neglect him. Example comes in Srimad Bhagavatam how a person should receive a guest even if an enemy comes to your home. For example, once Shri Krishna, Arjun, Bhim, all these three people come to Magad Naresh Jarasandh's kingdom. So Magad Naresh Jarasandh has welcomed them with lot of reverence, with great respect. He has welcomed them. Even though Jarasandh knew that Bhim has came here to fight with him, to do Malla Yuddha with him, then also Jarasandh has offered lot of respect to all three of them. In night they used to do friendly behavior. They talk to each other in a guest and host manner. But in daytime they used to fight with full of their strength in Malla Yuddha. So this is the way we can understand through this way that how one should receive a guest even if he is an enemy. We should always receive him with lot of respect, with sweet words. And one more example we see in Srimad Bhagavatam. When Parikshit Maharaj entered in Shamik Rishi's ashram, Parikshit Maharaj went for Akhet in the forest. When he got tired, he was feeling thirsty, he forgot his way to go back to his kingdom. So he was feeling very thirsty. He has seen one ashram. That ashram was of Shamik Rishi. He has gone over there and he was expecting Shamik Rishi to serve him at least a glass of water. But Shamik Rishi was sitting in meditation. He did not see him even. That time Parikshit Maharaj did not expect any reception from Shamik Rishi, even though he was feeling thirsty. But he thought, okay, let me sit, take some rest over there. He can serve me a glass of water and he will give me some blessings, because rishis used to give blessings to king also. So by this example, we can understand that one should, if one goes to someone's house or to the ashram, one should not expect that other person will receive him with great respect. So the fact is that every householder, regardless his position or economic condition, can at least receive saintly guests with great devotion and offer them drinking water. For drinking water is available always in every place. In India, the custom is that even an ordinary person is offered a glass of water if he suddenly visits, and one cannot offer him food stuff. If there is no water, then one can offer a sitting place, even if it is on straw mat. And if one has no straw mat, even he can immediately cleanse the ground by the cloth or whatever cloth he is wearing. From those clothes, he can clean the ground and ask the guest to sit over there. If we suppose that a householder cannot even do that, then with folded hands, he can simply receive the guest, saying, "Welcome, sir," or "Welcome." If even he cannot do that, then he should feel very sorry for his poor condition and shed tears and simply offer obeisance with his all family members, with the wife and children. In this way, he can satisfy any guest, even if the guest is a saintly person or a king. It is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 22, verse 10. Aidhanam api te dhanya sadhvo graha medhinaha yad graha hi arha varya ambutran bhumi ishwar avaraha. It means a person who is not very rich and is attached to the family life becomes highly glorified when saintly persons are present in his home. Whenever saintly person come to their home, they are feeling highly glorified. Master and servant who are engaged in offering the exalted visitor the water, sitting place, paraphernalia for reception are glorified, and the home itself is also glorified. For example, at Yudhishthir Maharaj palace, Krishna was residing with them. So devotee should feel happy whenever any saintly person come to your house. You should give respect to them, a high respect. Give them some water, give them food stuff to eat, give them nice place to sit, and whatever is available, offer them your different kind of paraphernalia with sweet words. So we should take care of whenever we receive any guest in our house. Next topic is a devotee's attitude towards parents or relatives. Regarding your manner of behavior with your parent who are not in Krishna consciousness, Srila Prabhupada says that I may inform you that you should treat 4 different classes of man in different ways. A devotee should love God and God's devotees. A devotee should make friendship with devotees. A devotee should try to enlighten innocent person, and the devotee should reject opposite elements. As mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam as well as in Nectar of Instruction by Rup Goswami, that there are 4 ways to treat the people in different ways. Ishware tadhineshu balisheshu dushashu cha prem maitri kripa upeksha yah karoti sa madhyamah. There are 4 ways to treat the people. One should keep loving relationship with the Lord. One should keep friendly relationship with the devotees of the Lord. Bali Sheshu Kripa. Those who are innocent people, we should be merciful on them. We should keep on telling about Krishna consciousness to them. But those who are the Dvishatsu, criticizing the Lord, criticizing the devotees, to them we should ignore them, we should reject them, we should not treat them anymore. Avoid them. So there are 4 ways we can have different attitude with different people. But whenever we treat with parents, with father and mother, we should offer respect, proper respect, according to the social custom. You cannot accept their non godly instructions. If your parents are not devotees, you should not accept their non Krishna consciousness instructions. Avoid them. Try to keep our friendship with everyone in the world, but we cannot sacrifice the principle of Krishna consciousness. That is the most important thing. Always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. That is the first and foremost principle of the Krishna consciousness. And to deal with the parents, as mentioned by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17, verse 14, Dev Dvij Guru Pragya Pujanam Shaucham Arjavam. One should give proper respect to the gods, demigods, to the Brahmana, to spiritual master, to the Pragya. Pragya means the people, those who are equivalent to Guru, like your parents, like your teacher. We should give proper respect. That is necessary. It is mentioned by Lord Shri Krishna. Don't let your parents know that you do not approve their instructions. But at the same time, you should be very careful in dealing with them. If you object or point out to their instructions and let them know it, then they will feel sorry and sad. So if your parents are not devotee of Krishna, do not follow their instructions, but do not allow them, do not let them know that you are not approving their instructions. This you can follow by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction. Antarnishtha Bahya Lokachar. In our heart, we should follow Krishna consciousness firmly. We should be always fixed in Krishna consciousness. But in outside world, if people are not favorable in Krishna consciousness, even they are your relatives, your parents, behave with them as Bahya Lokachar. Behave whatever social conduct are required. Do not disrespect anyone. Basically your parents, your relatives. Do not disrespect them. Instead, you should treat them with proper social conduct. Otherwise, they will feel sorry about yourself and about themselves also. This is all mentioned by Srila Prabhupada in letter to Nandarani. Even Prabhupada mentioned, if your parents are not favorable to you, but they cannot be bad as Hiranyakashipu was. You can see the example of Prahlad Maharaj. His father tried to kill him many times by different ways. He tried to throw him from a top of a mountain so that he can fall down and he will die. He threw him in a well full of serpents. He threw him under the feet of elephant so that elephant crushed his body. So by different ways he tried to kill his son. So Prabhupada is telling, at least I don't think your father is trying to kill you. And what Prahlad Maharaj has done, when Lord Narasimha Dev appeared from the pillar and killed the Hiranyakashipu, Prahlad Maharaj prayed to the Lord Krishna to have mercy on his demon father. So we must take the instruction to respect our parents, to be very kind, very tolerant and patient with them. And very soon, Prabhupada is telling, very soon I promise you everything will be alright. If you respect your parent, you will be kind to your parent, you will be tolerant and patient with them. Everything will be alright after some time. So this is the way how to deal with the parents. Further, Srila Prabhupada mentioned in his letter to Patty Dorgan that I am very pleased that you are chanting regularly. This will save you and protect you from all the fortunes. So, chant Krishna's name regularly, think about him all the time, and your love for him will keep you free from any bondage. Chanting is most important. Through chanting, our all sins are disappeared. So, chanting is most important. Further, Srila Prabhupada mentioned that you must try somehow to avoid eating meat, fish or eggs. Maybe that time this Patty Dorgan used to have fish and eggs. That is why Prabhupada has mentioned in his letter. Prabhupada told, be very strong in this respect in following 4 regulative principles of Krishna consciousness, and eventually your parents will appreciate your determination, especially if you are otherwise. Always be very kind to them. So, we should give proper respect to our parents. Then slowly, whenever we are fixed in Krishna consciousness and we give proper respect and care to the parents, slowly parents also changed. That is the truth. Now further, next topic is our devotees' attitude towards inhabitants of Holy Dham. There is a speciality of inhabitants or the residents of Holy Dham. They are always Vaishnavas. They are all auspicious because somehow or other they always keep on chanting the holy name of Lord Shri Krishna. Even though they do purposely or without purpose. Even when they pass on a street, they are fortunate enough to exchange greetings by saying the name of Radha and Krishna, like different vendors, flower vendor, vegetable vendor, simple e-rickshaw wala, all they greet each other or they call each other with Radhe Radhe. So by this way, directly or indirectly, they are chanting Lord's name. And one more example we can see in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Ajamila story. Ajamila kept his son's name Narayan. He used to call his son by his name Narayan all the time. Narayan, come here, Narayan, do this, Narayan, do that, Narayan, why don't you listen? Narayan, please do this. So by this way, he used to call him all the time by name of Narayan. So by chanting the name of Lord Hari, one gets purified and all his sins are diminished. Even Lord Nityananda Prabhu mentioned that in Vrindavan all things are possible. I have attained all things by coming to the Vrindavan, because Vrindavan is a place where Lord Krishna has done so many childhood pastimes. It is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 13th chapter, 60th verse, Yatra nesarg durveraha sah asan namrag adayaha mitrani ev ajit avas drut rut tarshak adikam. Means Vrindavan is the transcendental abode of Lord Shri Krishna, where there is no hunger, no thirst, no anger. Though naturally inimical, both human beings and ferocious animals live there together in the transcendental friendship. That is the potency of Dham, of Vrindavan Dham. Whether a Goswami, a tiger or cat, dog, any animal, everyone business is same, to please the Lord Shri Krishna. Even the animals are also Lord's devotees. All the people in Vrindavan remains happy. Even the calf, cow, cat, dog, all are happy, and man is also happy. And there is one more speciality in Vrindavan. Everyone wants to serve Krishna in different ways. Whatever one's capacity is, they want to serve. They have no enviousness about each other. And Srila Prabhupada mentioned how monkeys are special in Vrindavan. One may sometimes think that the monkeys in Vrindavan are envious because they snatch mobile from your hands, they snatch spectacles, they steal food, or they cause mischief. But in Vrindavan we find the monkeys are allowed to take butter because Krishna used to give them butter. So Krishna, by his own example, demonstrated that everyone has the right to live. This is the Vrindavan life. Either it is an animal, ferocious animal, human being, poor, rich, any. Everyone has the right to live. They do not feel, I should live and others would die. No. That is the material life. In Vrindavan, everyone should feel that whatever is given by Krishna, let us divide it among all and as a prasad and eat. They want to share the mercy of Krishna. And this kind of mentality of sharing Krishna consciousness cannot appear suddenly. All of a sudden it cannot appear. It will gradually develop through Krishna consciousness because we are totally surrendered to Krishna. Or by sadhana, one can come to this platform that all time we are surrendered to Krishna. How Srila Prabhupada shows his mercy on dog. It is mentioned in Srila Prabhupada Leelamrit, volume 5, that once near Govardhan at Bindu Sarovar, a lake is there where Radha and Krishna, Bindu Sarovar, lake is there where Radha and Krishna met first time. The devotees swam into the lake and Prabhupada has taken a bucket and bathed from the bucket of that water. Later they have taken prasadam. And nearby them the stray dogs were there. They were barking. So devotees tries to chase away the stray dogs by throwing stones and yelling on them. But Prabhupada has stopped them. Prabhupada has told, leave them alone. And he began to throw the prasadam from his plates to the dog. This shows Prabhupada's mercy on dogs. So Prabhupada is merciful on every living entity because he was darshana. Shuni cheva shapake cha panditaha samdarshinaha. A samdarshi person sees Lord Krishna in everyone's heart. Another example of Srila Prabhupada mercy on langur. Srila Prabhupada liked the location named Govind Devji temple that is in Jaipur. So that place was very good, full of blessings of Govind Devji. But the disturbance was only one, that many monkeys were there, and monkeys were not ordinary small monkeys, they were large monkeys. Their face was charcoal, like means black faced, and they had long curtailing tails, climbing through the trees across the rooftops. They would skip down unexpectedly to steal whatever they could. A lady was cooking prasad for Prabhupada, so she was very annoyed with the monkeys because these monkeys attempt to steal the vegetables from the kitchen. Even they take chapatis right off the fire and they accomplish. And they complained to Srila Prabhupada. So Prabhupada advised them, neither be their friends nor their enemies. If you make friends with them, they will simply be a nuisance. If you become their enemies, they will become very vindictive or very revengeful. Just maintain a neutral position. Do not feed them too much, otherwise they will start to snatch every now and then everything from you, or do not throw them away from you, then they will be very revengeful. They will start to snatch, they will start to harm you. So always maintain a neutral position. Keep chanting the holy name. Whenever we see langur, monkeys, dogs nearby, start to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. They go away simply. They do not harm you. So that should be our attitude. Now, a devotee's attitude as a preacher. Srila Rupa Goswami, who is the author of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which is known as the law book of Krishna consciousness, he was very humble. Very humbly he submits that he is just trying to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. Even though he has written so many books, every devotee in Krishna consciousness following teachings of Rupa Goswami, but his attitude is, he humbly thinks himself unfit for this work. So by his example, we can learn. That should be our attitude, the attitude of a preacher in Krishna consciousness movement, following the footstep of Srila Rupa Goswami. We should never ever think of ourselves as a great preacher, but should always consider that we are simply instrumental to the previous acharyas, and simply by following in their footsteps, we may be able to do something for the benefit of suffering humanity. The preaching activity is very dear to Lord Krishna. Krishna also says, who preach my glories is very dear to me. So we should not feel that we are doing Krishna's best services and start to feel egoistic or become arrogant. No, we should always feel that we are simply the instrument in the previous acharya. We are simply instrument in our spiritual master's hand, and simply following the footstep, what instructions we are getting from our previous acharyas and from our spiritual master. So by this way, we should offer respect. We can say that everything, whatever preaching we are doing, Hari, Guru, Vaishnav, Priti, Arthe. It is for the pleasure of Lord Hari, our spiritual master, Lord Hari, Guru, Vaishnav, all the Vaishnavas, for pleasing all the Vaishnavas, I do this service of preaching. That humbleness should be there in our heart. By this way, we can benefit to the suffering society. Now, in end, I will conclude the topic. What should be the right attitude? A devotee should be non-envious. That is the most important quality of a devotee. He should be non-envious. He should be equipoised in all the situations, either in happiness or distress or favorable condition and unfavorable condition. He should be equipoised always. Person should has positive attitude towards all aspects of the life. He should never ever get irritated or agitated. He should have positive attitude towards all aspects of life. Fourth one is motivate oneself to stay in peace, happiness, love, and free himself from negative thoughts by reading scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, etc. Srila Prabhupada Leelamrit. So by reading all these things, by doing Swadhyay, we can remain motivated to be happy and peaceful always. And fifth most important thing is enthusiasm. We should be always enthusiastic in serving Lord Shri Krishna. As Srila Rupa Goswami says, endeavor executed with intelligence is called enthusiasm. So whenever we put our intelligence with full of endeavor, then that is called enthusiasm. And with that enthusiasm, we can serve Lord with love and happiness. And by this way, Lord reciprocate with us. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yen mamu upayanti te. Lord Krishna says, who serves me with love, I give them intelligence. So that intelligence we can use as an enthusiasm to serve the Lord. We can remain motivated always, we can have positive attitude, we will remain equipoised in all the situation, and we will remain always non-envious with all people. So that is the right attitude of a person. So in today's lecture, we have learned different important points, that a devotee should tolerate and learn to stop agitation. One should not criticize others. Whenever someone criticizes, he himself gets agitated. And the law of reception enjoins that one should offer proper respect, sweet words, some area to sit, and a glass of water to receive a guest. Next thing we have learned, that we should try to keep our friendship with everyone, but we cannot sacrifice the principle of Krishna consciousness. That is most important. And while dealing with the parents, we should give them proper respect, be kind, tolerant and patient with them. But if they are not in favor of Krishna consciousness, then do not oppose them. Remain quiet but give them respect. Be tolerant. And in last, we have seen that what should be the right attitude of a devotee. He should be non-envious, equipoised in all the situation, keeping oneself motivated and remain enthusiastic with endeavor. Okay. So here the topic is ants. Thank you all very much. वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. हरे कृष्णा.